On your fast track to 7, the vice chairman of the University of Minnesota Board of Regents is resigning amid the controversy about his remarks about the Morris campus being too diverse. Steve Swigum has resigned his leadership position, but will remain on the board until his term expires during the 2023 legislative session.
His comments came at a marketing meeting earlier this month where he shared that he received 2 letters from friends whose children were not going to Morris because they said it was too diverse and they didn't feel comfortable there. A former official of the Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara Nation now pleading guilty to accepting bribes and kickbacks from a construction contractor. 58-year-old Randall Phelan of Mandaree entered that plea just as his trial was supposed to start in Fargo yesterday.
Investigators say he used his official position to help the contractor's business by awarding contracts, fabricating bids, and managing fraudulent invoices. The business received more than $17 million over the past decade for construction work on the reservation, and it has since pleaded guilty to bribery. Developers of a proposed nickel mine in northern Minnesota plan to move construction of its processing plant to North Dakota because of environmental concerns. Talon Metals has been under pressure from environmental groups about a plan to build the processing plant in Tamarack, about 50 miles west of Duluth.
Talon is negotiating to buy an industrial brownfield site in Mercer County, North Dakota. The company has received $114 million in a grant from the U.S. Department of Energy for that project. Staff members at NDSU are now bracing for what they're being told will be significant budget cuts.
School President David Cook says the cuts are necessary because of decreasing enrollments over the past several years. But he says administrators are laying the groundwork now to realign resources, and those changes are not enough to cover the projected deficit.
6:51 right now. Let's get a check of your midweek forecast with meteorologist Lisa Green. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning. Today, starting off with conditions that are starting to clear out in Fargo. We are starting to see just a little hint of that sunrise, which now is after 8 o'clock here in the valley. 8:01 officially. We'll see that sun come up this morning. It's 34 degrees and it feels more like the 20s. 28 our current wind chill in Fargo. Moorhead also at 34, wind light and out of the west at 7 miles per hour. In Grand Forks, the Sorley Bridge lit up nicely there, and we're looking at some conditions there into the mid-30s as well. 35 degrees in Grand Forks, and wind is making it feel like we're below freezing there as well. 31. Some places are well into the 20s in southeastern North Dakota. So a colder start to the day today. It's very quiet on your radar map here this morning, looking to be on the dry side. We'll have more clouds in the morning hours out at the bus stop. A little chilly for some of our kids this morning with those temperatures into the 20s. And then into the afternoon, we'll rise into some upper 40s. So not necessarily a warm day, but we'll get more sunshine and we're going to enjoy some milder numbers here by the afternoon. Now, Thursday back into some 50s. I can't rule out a light shower or two. Heading into your Friday, mostly sunny, a temperature of 61 degrees. And then this weekend, 50s to even 60 for your Halloween weekend. Looking not too bad here in the forecast. No big events coming our way as far as rain or snow. And we keep our temperatures right around average or even above as we wind down the month of October.
Yeah, we look forward to rounding out Halloween. Thank you for that update.
This time of the year, you'll see a lot of animals trying to cross the road, especially deer. They're making their way from field to field and forest to forest.
So the Valley Today's Jillian Trudeau is joining us live this morning to give us some safety tips while deer are crossing our roadways. Good morning, Jillian.
Good morning, that's right. We were at Lindenwood Park here, just doing a drive-by to see if we could see any deer, but we haven't seen any, unfortunately, this morning, but I know that the people in the valley have probably seen a lot of deer driving to work and back from work when the sun rises and the sun sets. That's kind of the moment that the deer are going to be moving on, like when we're moving too. So North Dakota Game and Fish official Doug Lear wants to tell everyone that there are multiple factors that go into when you will see deer on your commute, like farming equipment in fields and hunters making their sweeps. So he does have a couple precautions for you guys while you're just to keep safe, and a general safety tip overall is just always wear your seatbelt. And then the most important one, which does seem a little abnormal when you're driving and kind of out of the ordinary, but don't swerve or take the ditch to avoid hitting a deer. Try to brake as much as possible and stay on the roadway. Don't lose control of your vehicle or slam onto something else to miss the deer. You risk less injury by just hitting the deer. And then if you do spot a deer, slow down immediately and honk your horn. I know growing up in Thief River Falls when I was little, I was always taught when you're driving in the dark, look for those glowing eyes on the side of the road, slow down. They always are traveling in packs. There's not going to be just one, there's going to be multiple. So make sure you take all of these precautions and drive safely today.
Yeah, that big takeaway, don't swerve. You have to kind of fight against your reflexes to keep that wheel straight and just unfortunately hit into that deer.
Yeah,
Thank you.
safer for everyone there. Jillian, thanks.
5,000 trick-or-treaters are expected to ring the doorbell of a well-known and well-decorated home up in Grand Forks. You're so excited to talk about it.
I was so excited, yes.
They're doing things a little differently, though, because they want to make this Halloween much more inclusive.
But it's amazing how many kids have got big food allergies now. With this, it doesn't matter.
Nelson, there you heard her on screen asking for donations from those in the community of small items or candy to include in her bags. For more information on where you can drop those items off, head on over to our VNL News app and simply click on this story.
Now, after COVID-19 derailed Halloween the last 2 years, Kelly said that she is excited to welcome the families back to her home off of Cherry Street. However, she is ditching the candy this year and instead giving out those teal pumpkin treats, as we mentioned.
In our consumer alert, Clorox recalling 3 of its Pine Sol products because of the risk of them containing bacteria that can cause serious infections with people who may have weakened immune systems or outer medical devices. That bacteria can enter a person's body if inhaled through the eyes or in an opening of the skin.
Yeah, the recalled products were produced between January 2021 and September of 2022. Those specific products are the Pine Sol scented multi-surface cleaners in Lavender Clean, Sparkling Wave, and the Lemon Fresh scent, along with the Pine Sol all-purpose cleaner in Lavender Clean, Sparkling Wave, and Lemon Fresh, and the Orange Energy, along with the Clorox Professional Pine Sol Lemon Fresh cleaners. We know that's a lot of names to go over. They were sold in the size of 28 ounces to 175 ounces. What you really need to check for, the top code on the bottle. The recalled products will have a code that begins with A4. Then it will be followed by 5 digits, and the number will be lower than 22249. So check that number. People in Ada, Minnesota are fed up. They say their local Dollar General store is poorly managed and safety has now become a big concern there. They say it's one of the only stores in town, but on a regular basis, you see it right there, boxes and carts are blocking the aisles and the problem is seeming to be getting worse.
This is our main concern right here. Fire hazard.
Fire hazards.
You can't get out the store if there's a fire.
I'm scared about being in there and bumping into a cart and knocking over a bunch of items off the cart. Tripping, there's trip hazards everywhere.
The Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, says Dollar General is facing a fine of $1.6 million for safety violations following recent inspections at their stores in Alabama, Florida, and Georgia. They have been fined more than $9.5 million since 2017.
The Islamic Society of Fargo-Moorhead hoping to raise $50,000 to repair its cemetery after it was hit by vandals. The organization says concrete vaults used for the burials were destroyed. A GoFundMe page says the organization wants to also add extra security. 4 Fargo police officers involved in a deadly shooting in Mapleton last summer have officially been cleared of any wrongdoing. The announcement from Fargo's police chief comes 2 months after the 4 officers fired several rounds, killing 35-year-old Andrew Martinez.
Last month, North Dakota Attorney General Drew Wrigley also ruled the shooting was justified. Fargo Police Chief David Zabulski is expected to talk about this investigation at tomorrow night's police advisory and oversight meeting. Minnesota's GOP candidate for governor is heading to Moorhead this weekend. Scott Jensen will be in town Saturday as part of his fly-around tour.
He'll be joined by Lieutenant Governor candidate Matt Burke at 2311 Highway 10 around 11 a.m. This is one of 6 stops he plans to make outside of the Twin Cities area on Saturday. The city of Moorhead shutting down its golf courses. The last day at the Meadows will be Sunday, but Village Green will stay open as long as the weather allows.
Yeah, so fingers crossed. In Fargo, Edgewood, and Rose Creek are still open, but the other public courses have since closed for the year. Well, this is probably going to be some of the best video you just see all day. I love that slide
He's
right
sliding into
there.
home plate right there.
Yeah, he is. He is sliding into midweek. That's what we're doing today. Anyway, this rhino was caught on cam playing in the rain at the Fort Worth Zoo. You see the big guy right there. He put on a show for some 5th graders. And even more exciting, the rain was pretty rare as it fell across North Texas yesterday.
Yeah, that's because much of the state has been in an extreme drought for months. But this big critter didn't seem to even really notice the drought when it just started raining down.
Yeah, I love that sliding into home plate, and he is safe.
That's what it reminded me of.
Cute stuff right there.
Yeah.
Well, the Today Show and CBS This Mornings are just about to start, but re-roll on the CW.
Take care, everybody. Happy Wednesday.